Holy smokes. You thought I was going to say shit, didn't you? No, it's... What is going on here? I'm going to the gym to do a lift, and the sun is up. What? This is a whole new... This is a whole new leaf for me. I think I got to start doing this on a consistent basis, just so I have an actual good sleep schedule. I think that's one thing that's probably the one aspect of the big three which I neglect the most. Or at least I'm not the most consistent with. Right? And the big three that I'm talking about are training, eating, and sleeping. Training, I've got down. The training is consistent as hell. No issue going hard every time. That's just how it freaking rolls. Now, the eating, pretty consistent. Sometimes I let stuff kind of fuck with me. Like if I'm traveling or if I ever get really busy with school stuff, then that can kind of mess with me eating and I get a little bit behind on my calories. But for the most part, oh my goodness. But for the most part, I've got the eating down too. But the sleeping, sometimes I'm a little bit of a chump. I'm a little bit of a fucking goober about that. And I end up staying up forever watching the Blackberry movie and, TikToks and Instagram Reels, or I go down a rabbit hole of, fucking whatever. You know what I really need to do? And this is something which I kind of talk about, having a good sleep schedule helps me fix, is I get to go to bed very intentionally. Yeah, I need to do that more. And I know I love it. I know doing it's good for me. So I can tell you why I'm not doing it. I guess it's just because I'm being a fool. But when you go to bed intentionally, no phone, or like you leave it on your desk and it's charging kind of fucking far away from you, and you really, snuggle up and get cozy, that's when I get the best night's rest. I need to do that more often. Maybe I'm gonna... Obviously, I'm not really a New Year's resolutioner, but it's only been 1 month. Do you think that could still count as a New Year's resolution? Trying to do no phone pre 15 minutes before bed? I'm such a dopamine addict, though. I don't know if I can do it. But you know what? You're goddamn right, I'm gonna try. But either way, I want more sleep. I want more consistent sleep as well. But playing for arms, I think I might do kind of a superset day. I'm thinking 1 set of pushdowns, followed by 1 set of curls, and just repeat that process until my arms feel like they're going to explode. Now, if I had to guess how many sets that's going to be, I'd say probably around 7. Maybe 7 little loops of a pushdown and a curl. But it could be less. It could be 6. I mean, hell, if I get to 5 sets, like let's say I go back and forth 5 times, 5 sets of pushdowns, 5 curls, I'm like, holy shit, dude, I'm fucking done. Arms are cooked. Then, that's what I'll call it. So not necessarily the most... Well, I guess you could say it's a little bit of a scientific approach, because I'm determining the end state of the system based on, the current state of however the hell I feel, right? Or if you're big into code, I'm running an if-then on a constant loop in my mind. If I'm fully pumped, then stop the lift. If I'm not fully pumped, do another set. So any comp sci lifters, I'm sure you'd love that little analogy. So it's early, but it might be packed because it's early. It's so hard to predict how busy this gym is because everybody has the weirdest schedules at this school. But no matter, it will not stop the pump. You really cannot beat the basics. Set of straight bar pushdowns, full stack, squeeze. You get the buzzwords. Just go hard. Okay. All right, I'm sure I'll come back to this, but let's go grab some dumbbells. All right, none of this 75-pound dumbbell bull crap. Let's just get a good squeezing set, and honestly, probably an endurance set with the 55s. So this might get into the 20 rep range, but it's still within a reason. If you're doing a weight where you can do like 50 reps, I think you've got something wrong in your math. But 20, that's all right. Okay. I didn't want to swing too much on those. Let's go back to push downs then. Fucking back and forth. Okay. Okay. Let's probably go back to dumbbell curls. Don't break what I... Don't fix what I broken. There we go. I think it's high time for a set of rope push downs, which I'll be a little bit kind of rapid with the reps. Like, I like a slow, controlled set with the rope, but you know, throwing the sack around, something about being able to spread my hands apart at the bottom, that's a pretty good feeling too. Let me turn this up and get a plan. I forgot to press record on the last set of dumbbell curls, but it looked just like the first one. Okay. Okay. All right. Back to curls. Even only after 3 sets, or really just 2.5. I'm pumped. Preachers ought to be good next. A little bit heavier than I usually do, but then again, usually I do preachers later in the workout. So 3rd set, this is definitely going to be just about right. At least I hope so. Okay. Let's come back to this, but only with a 25. 25 and a 10 might be pushing it. Let's get another repeat with the rope. Okay. Back to preachers. We're definitely in the second half of this lift. Okay. Dude. I think just one more set of tries and another set of these preachers, we're done. This is kind of a faster paced workout than I'm used to, but I'm already at the point where there's no fucking chance of finger to shoulder contact. This is a good lift. Maybe I should do arms a little bit faster paced more often. Maybe that's my takeaway. But who's to say? Let's really judge once we see the pump. I'm not sure what a really good word for this would be. Maybe, because it's not a drop set. Because first thing we'll do a set with the rope, burn out, and then use the push down, the straight bar handle for some more push downs after. I guess you'd call it a mechanical drop set, because a push down with the rope, anybody who knows anything, way fucking heavier than with the straight bar. So by the time I'm only doing partials with the rope, I'll be able to do full reps with a straight bar and burn out even more. So I think this little combo here, followed by maybe some kind of something I gotta cook up in my mind for buys. And then I don't know if the mirror will be able to handle the size of my arms for the pump check. I guess we'll have to find out. Yes. Oh yeah. Woo. Let's get this arm pumped on and then go discuss. Okay. Let's go pose down and discuss. I swear, this gym needs a sign that says, no working out in the posing room. That's some bullcrap, man. I want to make use of the craziest lighting possible, especially when I've got an arm pump that's this good. But what are you gonna do? I'm in a little bit of a rush, so I'm not gonna sit here and wait. Because I got a plane to catch to Aries Nutrition. Well, actually, I guess by the time you're seeing this, that meet and greet will have already been done. But either way, whatever. No point thinking about the semantics of it. Oh my goodness. I mean, you tell me. Is that an arm pump? Or is that an arm pump? Oh my goodness. Oh. All right, that's pretty good. No. All right. What's left? Front lat spread. Dude, I wish I could sit here for 30 minutes and fucking pose down like this. Damn. Oh my goodness. So I love a lat spread with a lat pump, obviously, extra wide. But with an arm pump, I mean, it just adds so much size. My torso could stay the exact same size, chest, back, traps. But if my arms add an inch in a lat spread, this extra bit of bulbousness making me look wider, well, let's just say it's fucking killer. Okay. I hate to say it, but I've got to end the pose down and get out of here. So, oh my God. Badass arm pump for sure. All right, let's get in the car. Okay. I hate to say it, but the post-car chat is going to be brief. Because I got to get my freaking booty out of here. Oh, I've got about an hour to get home, shower off, pack, eat some food, and then be on my way. There is a little bit of a, I don't know if you call it a relief, but there's definitely maybe a weight off your shoulders as a lifter when you finish your lift really early, just because then you get the whole day to yourself. Or not to yourself, but to do whatever you want. Of course, I want to do my lift, but usually I'm used to dedicating like a 3-hour chunk of time, you know, including like getting ready at the house, drinking the pre, driving to the gym, talking a little bit, lift, talking a bit after, coming back from the gym, right? I usually kind of dedicate a big chunk of my nights to doing that. So whenever I finish the lift early, I'm like, yippee, I'll just freaking, maybe I'll fold my laundry, which I've actually been doing, believe it or not. So, really good arm day though. I don't think I like destroyed the fibers in my biceps and my triceps like I do with big ass crazy sets of like 75-pound curls. But, you know, it's been a while since, ooh, those were the parking cops, and I did not pay for parking, so I'm actually kind of lucky they didn't ticket me. I bet if I would have left 10 minutes later, they would have got me $10 down the drain. But so that lift was not so traumatic as I think my lifts usually are. And really, I think that's probably not a bad thing. Because it's not like bodybuilder muscle growth is purely determined by how much you absolutely decimate your muscles. Now, of course, that doesn't sound right. Usually you do want to fucking go bananas hard. But, you know, it's not like you're trying to set yourself into rhabdo. You know, I definitely think I got some, oh man, there's like all sorts of buzzwords when it comes to muscle growth. Like people, there's like multiple forms I hear. I never really look into it this deep, but it's like you can increase the number of like muscle, well, essentially muscle fibers that are in your arms or in your muscles, right? Increase your number of myonuclear blows, right? The amount of fibers that are actually in your arm. And you can also increase the amount of volume of each fiber, right? So that's intramuscular fluids. Like I'm talking just straight up water, glycogen. I hear sarcoplasm thrown around. Now, when you think intramuscular fluid, to me, all I hear is a badass fucking pump. So maybe I should look into that a little bit more in depth. But really good arm day. I think I'm going to do the next few like that. Because I've kind of been, not in a rut, but my arm days have been very, you know, I always talk about changing up your training style. But I've been kind of stagnant in mine. You know, I do a lot of the same shit. I just throw the weight around, do some more squeezing sets toward the end of the lift, and then that's the end of it, which I think is a good style. But I think I need to listen to my own advice and try to mix things up, right? Switch to southpaw. They never expect that in the third round. You know what I'm saying? So I think maybe I might try adding a few higher pace lifts in with maybe less weight, like, less, well, there's literally less weight during the sets, but compensate for that lack of stimulus, right? Obviously, heavy weight is going to be a hard set. So compensate for making it easier in a way by doing the sets a little bit quicker and with more emphasis on the squeeze. Not that I think that specifically is like the best way to train, but it is a different way to train. And that is what I want to freaking do. So either way, no matter how you're lifting, of course you should try to change it up every so often, right? The more varied your stimulus, the more likely you are to sort of hit some kind of stimulus, which is actually going to result in growth. You got to think, if you just shank your drive every fucking time you hit it and you just swing your club the same fucking way, do you really expect a different result? No. Now, sure, maybe you try. I'm gonna stick with the golf analogy. Just deal with it. Maybe you try changing your foot placement. Maybe you try keeping your head down a little bit more. If you don't get it right, at least get it different. You know what I'm saying? If I'm aiming for a fucking target and it's right here, and every time I throw it in the exact same way, and every dart lands in the same spot off the board, then maybe I should try to change up my throwing style. And it doesn't have to hit the center on the first adjustment, but the more that I change it and the more adjustments that I make, you got to think the more likely you're going to be on track to actually getting consistent on the target, if you see what I'm saying there. So, take with that what you will. But now I need to go home, put my clothes in the dryer, pack my shit, and roll. And freaking roll. So hopefully you had a good lift. You killed it. You went fucking nuts. Got an insane pump. I know you loved that shirt, but you know what? That chest pump that you got where it blew the chest off, it blew all this fucking fabric just straight off. It broke the mirror in front of you. That's a sacrifice that you got to make sometimes. So I'm going to make this right turn of that crashing, and then I will see you next time. So, whatever you do, try to do cardio once this week. And I'll know if you don't. You don't think that I can call up Jeff Bezos and have him send me your address and I'll just roll up? Knock on your door at 6 a.m., right? I will. Yeah, whatever. Don't you hate it when somebody pulls out in front of you? Not ideal. But, whatever. I'll see you next time.